All right, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a short podcast because I'm exhausted. It was my daughter's birthday, and birthday parties are exhausting. And also JP didn't get to see this episode, so it won't be as much to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, out
Was
the
it a good
gate,
one?
I hate that you couldn't see this one, JP, because it was actually a pretty damn good episode.
Yeah, I got two to catch up on now. But so it was pretty
Um,
solid.
yeah, it wasn't anything mind blowing, but it just was a pretty well done, solid episode. It wasn't. I didn't find it boring. I found it interesting. These people have a very terminus
Hmm.
vibe to them. I actually really like this new villain. Well, he's like the leader of this little cult. His name is Teddy. He's the old guy. I'm sure you've seen in the previews talking to Alicia.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna probably got a real like almost Jim Jones, like an old skinny Jim Jones kind of feel to him.
Okay. So did we spend most of the episode with the new villains?
You spend the episode, you don't really see him until the end. He kind of comes out and he's got this, of course, real almost southern type thing. And
Hmm.
he's like the cult leader. And the whole philosophy is, um, like they grind up walkers and use them to fertilize the earth.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's different.
The whole thought being the circle of life, basically like you're born and then you die, and then your body gives nutrients to the earth, which produces plants which humans eat to survive, and the cycle just repeats and repeats and repeats.
So
But I really liked it. I'm interested to see what the listeners thought, because I found it really good. Alicia, I thought Alicia was going to go out like her mom.
hmm
She had a very Madison moment there. But I really worry that the way they're going to go is Alicia is going to end up being brainwashed and joining this cult.
Oh God, I don't want to see that. She's too strong-willed for that kind of
I know,
storyline.
and that's what I hate. I feel like they're going to do that to shake it up, and it's like that's just not that doesn't align with Alicia's character, man. Like,
Right.
don't do that to her.
So I guess that will pit her against Strand in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and speaking of Strand, our boy Coleman Domingo commenting pretty early on here.
No, I'm here. I'm here, and I might just take my shirt off. So
Disney Rock says finally a decent villain. Yeah, I do think. I mean, I don't know how they'll use him, and we didn't spend much time with him, but I do like him. He's got a good vibe to him. I'm hoping he'll be kind of a different enemy. And the scenes from next week's episode were interesting because it almost looked dreamy.
hmm
Like we're gonna have some kind of like tripping balls scenes or something.
Oh man,
But
I'm into that.
I'm trying to remember. I need my boy Seth here. The comments are showing up. Well, no, that one was big. Let me see. Um, yeah, see how they're showing up a little smaller.
Yeah.
Let me see how I change those. I think I go under brand, maybe. But anyways, I will get that figured out. There we go. Comments, and how do I make them? That's the challenge in life, trying to make it bigger. It just no
Yep.
matter how hard you try, it's just never as big as you'd like it to be.
Never.
But so what's the deal, man? What's going on that's preventing you from watching these episodes?
I think I just need a new cable box. I mean, I've called them and they've sent like the refresher signal or something, but I haven't. They haven't been able to give me a time when I can actually be here when a dude can come out. So
Well, as
I
much
don't
as you
know.
work, that's probably hard to nail down.
Yeah. So I mean, I hate to pay for the app again, but it might come down to me having to get the app just so I can watch them on my phone before they air, just so I can actually see them. Which the next couple Sundays I'll be working, but hopefully I think I'll have. How many more episodes do we have?
Let's see. So this is episode 11. So we should have 16. So we should have at least 5 more,
Okay, so I'll be able to get some more in
unless
before.
they've shortened the season for a reason I don't know. But we should have at least 5 episodes left.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, to give you a rundown, and I won't, I'm not going to spoil everything entirely, but to give you a rundown to have some discussion, they kind of infiltrate this group of underground, the end is near people,
Do they
and these
literally live underground?
Yeah, they
Oh
all went
wow.
underground, and
Huh.
the goal I think is for them to never have to go back to the top again. Like that's where they
Mhm.
want to get, and
Jesus.
so you have like all these people. The guy, sorry, he's not a bad character, but I just don't know his name. But the guy who does the painting, you know what I'm
Uh huh.
talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he mentioned a while back, his brother. He thought his brother was dead, but his brother's actually with this group, and his brother's completely brainwashed and even like turns him in to the people, like narcs on him for trying to help
Huh.
him to get him to escape.
Huh.
Um, but then they try to get him, yada yada yada. Madison, I mean, Alicia starts a fire. They all get away, and Alicia's stuck there. They were gonna. Their whole thing is to some people they embalm like while they're alive, so that
Mhm.
as walkers, their bodies are perfectly preserved. Yeah,
That's
it's
weird.
pretty twisted. It's some cool stuff. There's a really cool scene in a room with a bunch of walkers that are chained up, but they're embalmed, so they look almost completely normal.
That's crazy, man.
And now she's alone with the cult leader, and he's trying to whatever, like he wants her to join them or whatnot. So I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, they sound kind of like Morlocks, the underground people, like in the future in the Time Machine movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard those. That's a Doctor Who reference, right?
No, it was like an old like '60s sci-fi movie, The Time Machine.
Ah, yes.
They redid it in like the early 2000s, I think, maybe with Guy Ritchie or something. But yeah, basically everyone on Earth lives in like a paradise. The only catch is the Morlocks every so often pick one of the people to eat them. They don't know that, but they're basically just cattle.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, Appalachian American says John Glover is the actor for Teddy.
John Glover.
Are you able to read these comments, JP?
I saw that one.
Okay, cool. So they're big enough that you can read them.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not 100% sure on how to make them longer. Allie Smith says, hate to sound like a broken record about Madison, but what if Alicia gets brainwashed into joining the group after discovering Teddy's second in command is Madison? Well, that would be two characters I think would be taken down unbelievable paths because I don't believe Madison or Alicia would believe that bullshit. And
Yeah, me neither.
Alicia gets it from her mama.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It seems out of character.
Oh, I've got to get some better lighting in here, man.
Mm.
I need just like one overhead light to
I might have actually
have
got a
this.
little sun today.
You
Maybe.
did?
I might. Yeah, I was actually at the brewery and met an old colleague of yours.
Who?
A fellow named Big Jim.
Oh, you finally got to meet Big Jim.
He was out there, dude. Yeah.
Was it as
Uh,
amazing as you could have imagined?
oh yeah, man. I said, yeah, I've heard a lot of stories, around the office about you. And he said, oh, they're probably all true.
Oh, they're all true, especially the ones about knowing celebrities.
Oh, he was sure to mention that. Oh, I've played with all of them. They
I
named the
mean, I
station
have
after
too,
me.
if you want to count like cutting on the MP3 and putting on my headphones and playing guitar along the songs. Yeah, I've played with
Right,
all
right.
kinds of famous rock artists in my basement.
No, no,
You'll have to tell me more about that off camera. I'm intrigued. What an
no, for
interesting
sure.
fellow he is.
No.
Yeah, you look like you got some sun, and due to this white lighting I've got right here, I look super pale. I need some warmer lighting in here.
No.
Um, but anyways, so back to the so Matty Williams says, I love the actor that plays Teddy. He's so good in anything he does. He looks super familiar. Can somebody like throw it in the comment section like some of his other work? Because he looks very familiar. And like I said, I like him. I think he's gonna be a cool villain if they if they don't just make it boring as hell, but he's got a very Jim Jones cultish kind of feel to him. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go.
Yeah, man.
Johnny 094, so good to be here with y'all. Finally got a free Sunday this weekend. Well, hey, Johnny, we're glad you're here too, man. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Moving on, man, we've gotten a lot of comments really quickly. Let's see here. Where it was one. Oh, okay. So Donkosaurus Rex says, honestly, if we'd lost Alicia this week, I'm not sure I would have cared. Need to build back my ability to care after losing John and Jenny so close together. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with Jenny, I feel like they didn't have a choice though. It's like if we keep her around and like try to reform her, it's just straight up Negan female version. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that episode couldn't have ended any better. So
let's see. I don't see the blue check mark, Coleman. Where's it at?
Impossible.
Trust me, Coleman. Let me tell you something, Mr. Domingo. Nothing would make me happier than to find out you are, in fact, the real Coleman Domingo. As famous as you are, I don't know why you'd be tuning into a podcast with the low viewership of ours, but we're flattered. But, you know, JP, what would you do if you found out that was the real Coleman Domingo?
I'd feel it in my soul. That's what would happen.
You'd what?
I would feel it in my soul. And I don't feel it in my soul or anywhere else. I feel it in a lot of places.
But let's just play what if. What if? Would you feel sadness that the love of your life absolutely despises you? Would you change your ways? I mean, how would you react to finding out that that's the real Coleman Domingo?
It would be an impossibility. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I don't know. life would have even less meaning than it already does.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. Oh, let me see. Wes was his name, the one whose hair almost looked like Heath. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, an Appalachian American says, "Happy birthday to your daughter." Because my daughter turned 2 today. Man, I'm gonna tell you, you have kids, it goes by so fast. Let's see, I'm trying to keep it somewhat in order here. Yeah, I could. He's got kind of a skinny, slightly less batshit crazy Charles Manson feel to him. Coleman Domingo says, I really wanted to work with John Glover. He's such a delight, and I did get to meet him, and we spoke. He should be on my bottomless brunch soon. If you see him on bottomless brunch, JP, you're gonna have to accept that that's the real Coleman Domingo, and he does not like you.
No. This Glover guy, it's impossible.
Punks and Prank says, I really think Dwight's gonna have to kill Sherry at some point this season. Yes, that would not shock me now that Rick's not around to do it.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that. I'm not very fond of her.
She's been pretty aggravating.
Yeah.
Like the back and forth with her and Dwight gets on my nerves, man. Like, dude, just let her go. Get away from her.
Mm-hmm.
There are some fine ladies left in the apocalypse. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Appalachian American says he played Lionel Luthor in Smallville. He was in the Batman and Robin as the doctor that made Bane. Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was crazy.
That's awesome. Is Teddy's right-hand man the same actor that played the young boy in the first Terminator movie? Just curious. That I don't know. If somebody gets a chance, please look that up and see. I mean, I can now that you say that, I can kind of see that. Let's see. In case y'all don't recall, I changed my YouTube name. It was Eternal Wreck. Not sure if I told y'all through Patreon. No, I don't think you did, Eternal Wreck. But hey, I'm glad you're with us.
Yeah, I did notice that on your Instagram.
Did you grill anything good today? Because I'm gonna tell you, this was a good weekend for some grilling.
No, man, I actually bought some ribeyes, but ended up just getting some fried fish for the fam, and that was it.
I was actually asking Johnny, but I'm glad you have some ribeyes.
Yeah, I got some ribeyes. They're in the fridge, but.
Well, you're gonna fix them for?
Maybe.
You've
That
never
probably
fixed me a
sounds good.
steak. I bet you can fix a hell of a steak.
I mean, it's all right. It's edible.
You've tried my steak,
Yeah, darn good.
and I haven't tried yours. I bet you JP be one of those that would surprise you. You think, and then next thing you know, just a mind-blowing steak.
Well, as you know, preparation is half the battle.
Coleman Domingo says, look behind the YouTube icon. The little red icon hides it. All right, JP, you know what? Entertain him for a second. I'm going to look up old Coleman's account real quick and see if there is, in fact, a blue check mark or if he didn't just Photoshop one like onto his profile picture.
No, that's clearly the check mark would not be overshadowed by the YouTube thing.
Let's see. I'm going to find it. Coleman, I'm hoping this. Don't let me down, man. I hope you're the real Coleman Domingo. I want to see how JP reacts to finding out the man he's been verbally sexually molesting for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years is actually not a fan of him.
I can tell you that's not the picture from his Instagram. I know that much. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but
It won't let me go to your account, Mr. Domingo. I'll have to check later.
disgusting.
Oh man, what's he say? Tell me something only the real Coleman would know. Also, feel free to insult JP again.
The breadstick up his ass. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's the face of heartbreak right there. Look at that zoomed in face of. Look at the JP's eyes. There, he's just dead in his soul, knowing that Coleman Domingo and him, it's never going to happen now.
The real Coleman will come to me eventually, or I'll come to him at a Comic-Con. It'll be great.
Watch him be like, "What's up, bitch? I told you it was really me. You didn't believe me. I listened to your little shitty podcast, and now I have the pleasure of getting security to kick you out." And then it'll be like, Daniel.
Oh. Did you hear the robot?
I did. Well, I think it's your headphones. I think they.
Yeah. Like I pushed this one had went dead, and I pushed it in, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I've got my own Friday or whatever Tony Stark calls his AI now.
Got one Wednesday after. It might be like Friday. That. It was some day of the week.
Yeah.
What if Sherry's like, Dwight, I have to go back to Virginia to be with Negan?
That would be in character for her. She's a CUNT.
That wouldn't surprise me because that would make absolutely no sense. And Sherry just seems to really get her jollies off by, doing the opposite of anything that makes sense. So there is that. DG, I kept thinking Derek was the actor from Black Klansman when I looked it up, but it's a different actor. I don't know that I've seen that movie.
I haven't seen that one. That's the one with Adam Driver, right? Where like the black dude infiltrates the Ku Klux Klan.
There was a guy that did that.
Yeah, that's what it's like a Spike Lee movie. I haven't got a chance to see it, but.
Huh. DG says he was the kid from Terminator 3.
From Terminator 3, really?
Mm-hmm. Johnny Q says, yeah, man, I actually cooked on Saturday and it won't no terminus meat.
Well, that's good to know.
Let's see. Oh, boy. JP, you know what? I'm going to cut my screen and cut my mic for a full 60 seconds. And I'm going to give you 60 seconds to say what you want to Mr. Coleman Domingo or his impersonator. But you got 60 seconds. I'm disappearing. Just say what you need to say.
Well, you listen to me, you preposterous son of a bitch. I know who you are. Well, I don't know who you are, but I know who you're not. And there's things that I've learned to do to a man to make him very uncomfortable. And if you do not stop your preposterous behavior and, pretending to be someone who I hold very dear, well, yeah, I'm going to cost your asshole. That's what I'm going to do with a paintbrush, bristle side up. So for a minute, it'll be enjoyable, but after that, it's not going to be because it's going to be rectangular. And everyone knows that you can't fit a rectangle into a circle. We all found that out at some point. So yeah, you can take no comfort in the fact that I'm coming for your caboose, impersonating.
So his beef with you is the sexual verbal molestation you throw at him, and you remedy that by throwing even more. I mean, if anything, that wasn't even just like some verbal sexual molestation. That was like verbal rape threats.
No, it's not. It's all metaphorical, of course.
Coleman, you will have your chance to respond here, man. Just throw it in there. I mean, Coleman, feel free to join. You know, I'm happy to send you a link and have you join in the podcast with us and show us you're the real Coleman Domingo. And then you can just let JP have it.
The real Coleman Domingo could let me have it. But
moving forward, Johnny says, did y'all get hostile vibes with that small fight at the end with Alicia and that one dude? Yeah, it definitely had that dingy, hostile feel to it. And I won't tell you, JP, how a fight between Alicia and this one guy goes, because it's pretty gnarly. So
yeah, man, I can't wait to get caught up. That much I can tell you.
Yeah, last week's episode was, it was all right. This one I actually liked. I mean, I don't know, it just the settings, everything about it I thought was pretty legit. Coleman responding. Security can't stop your love, can it?
No, and the real Coleman would not he would not put anything between us.
Maddie says, those egg quiches looked good. Yes, they did. They looked delicious.
I've never had a quiche.
I haven't either, but it looked good.
Yeah.
AMC Plus, you get 1 week free.
I might have to do that, but I got a couple weeks to catch up before I can be back on the live stream. So,
yeah, and then I'll just be here all by myself.
Well, you and the fake Coleman.
I might just have him on. He might just be scared to be beside you on the screen. So what he's going to do is wait until you're not available, and that's when he's going to jump on and reveal his true self.
If that's the case, then he should put his pudding where his pie hole is.
That is where you put pudding.
Well, that's what he's going to have to do.
I mean, like pudding goes in your mouth for most of us.
I don't eat it anyway. So
you don't like pudding?
I don't like the consistency, man. I don't like pudding or Jello or yogurt.
So you're a big texture guy, I guess.
Texture it means a lot to me. Like onions, man. It wasn't the taste as much as just the weird squeaky, crunchy thing. I don't know.
That's raw. Pudding shouldn't crunch.
No.
So if your pudding was crunching, don't blame pudding as a whole. You just got some nasty stuff.
I don't like it crunchy, smooth, or otherwise. It's not.
JP is a really picky eater. Like, of all adults that I know in my life, I've got to say JP is probably the pickiest adult eater that I know.
I have a set of rules that are pretty unbendable.
I did, side note, I know this is not related to the podcast, and I'm sorry, guys. It's hard to stay on topic. I need you guys to start throwing me some material in the comments. It's hard to stay on it when JP hadn't seen the episode. But I had something that was delicious, and I think you would like it, JP.
Oh, yeah?
Minus the onions and peppers. I don't think you would have liked those. But it was a buffalo chicken cheese steak.
Buffalo chicken cheese. Yeah, that does sound good.
It was absolutely delightful. Even if it would have just been the chicken, the cheese, and the buffalo sauce, it would have still just been delicious, even if it was just that. But I had mine, a little spruced up.
Sounds wonderful.
It was. Oh boy, he's back.
Yeah, put a check mark right in your pubis.
All right, so Disney Rocks hates pudding, Jello, and yogurt.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Who will Dakota shoot next? I'm not gonna say what first came to mind because I don't want to. But can I say I hope she's the one that gets shot next?
Oh no.
I do love tonight. She comes out and tells Morgan, she's like, "I want to help," and Morgan's like, "No."
Yeah. Yeah, you're
And
kind
she's
of a
like,
serial killer.
all those things Jenny said, something. And they're like, why is she alive? Like,
Yeah.
there's no in my book. There's no redeeming her because, like you said, her reasoning for killing John Doherty was so stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be different if she had been like a secret agent this whole time for Virginia, and I mean, at least you'd still hate her, but at least there would be some purpose to it. It'd, make her more despicable and more of a straight out villain. But they tried to make it like she was conflicted, and it's like you realize there was no reason, like you said, no reason. I mean, he was going to go back to his cabin and he wanted to take himself out anyways. And
Right.
it just, that whole reasoning. And then on top of that, the investigation was over with. Like, John was no longer with the Rangers. He was no longer on the case. He certainly wasn't going to kill her. So it wasn't like, he found out and then was going to kill her. So she had to kill him to stay alive. Like, just the reasoning behind her murdering John was so stupid that, like, there's no redeeming the character.
Nah, it was too loose.
I hate it for the actress because the actress that plays her does a great job. Like, and I have to clarify that for some people, man. It's just sad because I remember Garrett Dillahunt's, either his Instagram, Facebook, something. People were like coming after her, and it's like, dude, she's an actress. He's alive. She's not. You know what I mean? Like, I know you get into the shows, but separate the actors from the characters. Don't go berating actors because you hate what their character did.
It's true.
Unless, they're the writer of the show. Then you can be like, you made this shit happen.
Yeah.
Coleman says, you're still not getting it. Where was the blue check mark mentioned? Justin said I needed it. Well, Coleman, I can't actually see it because I can't access your account. If you could drop a link to your YouTube channel in the comments section, I will click said link, go to your account, and see if you are indeed blue check mark verified. Let's see, where was it? Johnny says, I want to ask some questions, but I don't want to spoil the episode for JP. JP's fine with that. JP said if he misses the episodes, he doesn't mind spoilers to keep the podcast going. So
and I'm gonna catch up. So,
and it's not like there were any big deaths or anything. So I mean, it's not that bad. So go ahead and drop it in there so we can get some conversation going about the episode. Be interesting for JP to hear about the scenario and give an outside, not seen perspective. Side note: have you watched Mortal Kombat yet?
No, I haven't. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
I've
heard some people really like it. I've heard some people say it's setting some stuff up.
Well, here's the thing. The fight scenes are incredible. Some of the coolest, best, most faithful fight choreography I've ever seen. While they're fighting, and the opening scene is fantastic. Like, while they're fighting and stuff, it's great. But the plot and the dialogue, I promise you, unless you just lie to try and prove me wrong, you will tell me that some of the dialogue made you cringe a little bit. Like, it's because what the first Mortal Kombat movie was fantastic back in the day. Everybody loved it. I don't think it was many people I know of that hated it. Like, it definitely was great for the time. The second one was absolute garbage for a number of reasons, but one of those reasons was the crappy dialogue and very nonsensical plot, and I got a little bit of that with this one. With that said, though, it definitely is worth watching. The fight scenes are awesome, and it has some some pretty cool moments. But anyways, just had to throw that out there. I was really hoping you'd seen it.
No, man, I hadn't really watched much the last few days. So sorry.
Let's see. Donkosaurus Rex says, yeah, Dakota's trying to adopt a rabbit dog as a pet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dakota is trying to adopt a rabbit dog as a pet. Yeah, I can see that. JP, are you still here vocally?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Sorry. Disney Rock says, least favorite characters are Dakota, Charlie, and Sherry right now. Hey, I'm right there with you. Charlie I can't say she's one of my least favorites, just in the sense of, for me, Charlie is like Luciana. Like, I don't dislike her. Like, I've gotten over her killing Nick. And that's the thing, JP, I think you would agree with me here. Charlie killing Nick made a lot more sense than Dakota killing
absolutely, dude.
John. Like, Charlie, I hated her for killing him, but it made sense. Like, he killed someone very close to her. I mean, it was a very almost Last of Us 2 type vibe, you know. It's like it made sense. Like, I was cool with that. I mean, I was very angry, but then I found out, you know, the writer wanted to leave. The actor wanted to leave the show, and yada yada yada. And it was so well done, it just blew my mind. But with that said, I don't hate Charlie by any means. She's kind of like Luciana. I forget she's there sometimes. Luciana has some lines in this one.
Oh, that's nice.
The actress is probably like, yes, I finally get to speak. Let's see. Do you think maybe Dwight can make Althea straight? I mean, I don't know if there is a making. I don't know if Althea is bisexual or if she's gay and that's just what she is, then I don't think there's really any making her anything. I think that she is what she is. And that's not going to, you know, she's not going to, you know, it's like I'm straight. And I don't get really tight to JP and be like, you know what, man? I want to take this friendship just a little further. You've changed me. I mean, it's like you are what you are. Now, if she was bisexual, maybe, you know, I don't quite know her full backstory. Donkosaurus Rex, then she immediately lets Morgan live, even though he now knows she killed 2 people for no reason. That, again, yes. Donkosaurus Rex gets it. Why the Dakota murder was so stupid. Like, so she kills John, who is probably the last one in this group that would have ever done her any harm, and kills him, and then, you know, then lets Morgan live, knowing that she's now murdered at least 2 people for no reason. Well, I think I'll say no reason, but, you know, for stupid reasons. Punks and pranks. Do you think they'll have Charlie kill Dakota like Carl did to Ben and Billy after that incident in the comics, because adults won't kill the kid, but the kid... I have not thought about that. That would be sick.
Yeah, it makes sense too.
That would be awesome. Just have like Charlie sneak in there one night while she's asleep, just like Carl did. And bam, what did Carl do? Did he stab that kid to death?
I can't remember if he stabbed him or strangled him or what.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a pivotal moment in the comics,
dude. Yeah, it was so brutal. I need to catch up on Walking Dead Deluxe. That's another thing I need to catch up on.
Oh yeah. Dwight and Althea would be cool, but he'll probably end up with Trucker Lady. Dear God, come on, DD.
Yeah, just freaking drive that truck off a bridge.
Charlie will be like, bitch, we can't both have the same story arc. One of us has to go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Back to the Future 3 is on. I freaking love that trilogy. It is a good trilogy.
With that.
I haven't seen the third one in a long time. I saw the first one again not too long ago, and the second one I saw a few years ago, but I hadn't seen the third one in quite a while. Let's see. Coleman, please take care of Daniel for us. Hopefully an MK2, if there's one, Justin, was on point with the story and the action. Okay, so you agree. Like, you know, great fight scenes. The choreography's fantastic. I mean, it's a joy to watch a lot of Mortal Kombat. It's just the dialogue and the story. It's just feels kind of half-assed. And then there's just cringy things they say. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's worth watching, and I'm excited to see the second one. But I will say, as a fan of the game, someone who's played every Mortal Kombat game, at least all of the main titles, I've even played the side titles like Shaolin Monks and but anyways, There are a lot of really cool Easter eggs in there. So if you are very familiar with the Mortal Kombat franchise, the movie's worth watching, if nothing else, for that, because it's tons of little things that they don't put a lot of focus on that are big Easter eggs for the game, and I give them props for that.
Yeah.
Dwight and Trucker Lady, hell no.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
Ugh. That would be the perfect way to redeem her character. Yeah, everybody now wanting to see Charlie kill Dakota.
Yeah, that'd be all right with me.
We need to get that to the writers.
Yeah.
Shaolin Monks was excellent. Shaolin Monks, in my opinion, is one of the greatest Mortal Kombat games ever. JP, did you ever play that?
I never played it, no.
It's actually a linear story. You're not just fighting in a tournament with like the story being given to you on like, cut cards or like title cards and stuff. Like, it actually is a game where you run around levels, and I mean,
what system was that for?
PlayStation 2. Well, I played it on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Oh, it was you played as Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Mm-hmm.
And it like actually told a story, and then like you could get your character swapped out for like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and replay it, and it was excellent. If you have a PS2 or some kind of emulator, man, get Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. That was one of the best Mortal Kombats they had.
For sure. For sure.
Donkeyosaurus Rex says he had it on Xbox. Appalachian American says, I couldn't get into Mortal Kombat. I kept having to rewind to get back into it. See, for me, I'm such a big fan of the game that, I was kind of sucked in. I mean, Kano was awesome.
Yeah.
The Australia, I don't know. I don't know. And then it's just some of the decisions they made in that movie. I had me and my friends scratching our heads like, why would they kill this person off, or why would they have that do that? Or I will say, and I have no shame in this, Highlander Raiden was 10 times better than Raiden in the new Mortal Kombat. Raiden in the new Mortal Kombat is absolutely pointless. Like, just absolutely pointless.
Really?
Like, you could have taken the movie and just pulled Raiden out of the movie, and other than like one or two little parts, I don't think it would have affected. It
that
just
sucks.
Useless. I mean, useless. The Thunder God. It's just useless.
Yeah, Raiden was always one of my favorites.
And I know you were a big fan of Highlander, so you probably loved Highlander Raiden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. One of my favorite movies ever.
We were talking about it at my friend's house, how awesome his voice was as Raiden in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it was real gravelly and and then you had Harry from Dexter was Raiden in the second one.
Yeah.
It's like my buddy said, it was so stupid. He comes out the portal when he gives up like his god powers to be mortal or something to help him, and he's just like, new haircut, you like it?
Yeah.
You're a thunder god, man. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That is not something a thunder god would say.
No.
But anyways, poor service to an elder god. Yeah, Raiden was absolutely pointless. And it's like, I don't mind that they wanted to make him Asian. That's cool. Like, but they made him like, his accent sounded like it switched between Arnold Schwarzenegger and super, like Asian, and I couldn't understand half of what he was saying. Like, at least give me some subtitles or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Raiden was useless. But what wasn't useless was this episode. I'm really excited for you to catch up, man.
Yeah, dude. By the time I'm on the next live stream, which, like I said, should be a couple Sundays, I'll definitely be caught up. So.
Yeah, I think you'll really dig tonight's. I think you'll like the vibe of it. I mean, I like it starts off with like kind of a guy giving some exposition and doing like it honestly had kind of a video game feel to it. You had the guy narrating stuff as these people are working. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I have the actor that plays Dwight on Instagram, and he was on YouTube just last week catching rattlesnakes with some guy. Pretty cool video. Oh man, I've said it, I'm sure, on the podcast at some point, but like, snakes don't freak me out. I mean, yeah, if a snake fell out of the ceiling right now, I'd probably jump, or if one just slithered up my leg. But I mean, like, if I know there's a snake, it's like they don't really freak me out. I mean, we're in the South. We've had to kill plenty of snakes, if they got to, whatever, especially if you have any kind of farm or whatever, they get near your chicken coop, gotta go. But rattlesnakes, man, from the time I was a kid up to present day, I still at least once or twice a year have a nightmare where I'm surrounded by rattlesnakes, and they're all rattling. And if I go to lift my leg, take a step, the rattling gets more intense, and some of them will rise up. It's the same dream in different places. It's been in an airport. It's been in a field. It's been in my kitchen. It's been at my parents' house. I've had that recurring dream ever since I was a kid about rattlesnakes.
You rattlesnakes. I met a homeless guy that was like hallucinating rattlesnakes or something one time. I used to have it on tape, but that's been like over 10 years ago. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Eternal Rex said he lives 2 to 3 hours from where they film Fear the Walking Dead. I want to go and volunteer to be a walker. You should,
for sure.
And let me check my email real quick. Apparently I have an email from someone. Coleman, my man, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but that's not a real blue verified check. That's just it's even cut off by the circle. I'm sorry, man. Coleman, I don't think you're Coleman.
The jig is up.
I've had a couple of people messaging me privately on theories of who Coleman would be. Let's just say this, JP. It's someone you're very close with.
Oh, my God.
Yup. That's you spitting into his eyes.
Oh, well.
Saying, "Be gone, imposter."
Some people are into that.
Spitting into eyeballs?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I know people spit on each other or in mouths, but
it's a weird Japanese kink, like actually splooging into someone's eyes. Like sounds disgusting and painful, but there's a market for that.
And with that,
yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm not kink shaming anybody unless kink shaming is their kink.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Do it. That would be awesome. Talking about him going to be,
for sure,
a walker. That would be awesome. I'm not close with JP. That's for sure. That's not what I hear, Coleman. JP, We're getting close to wrapping this thing up. But before we do, once again, I'm going dark, and I'm going to give you 60 seconds to speak to the man that we now know without a shadow of a doubt is not Coleman Domingo. Let him have it.
Well, the jig is up. Now, we all know what I already knew, and that's that you're a liar and a cretin, probably not oozing with any kind of sexual energy that anyone wants to just roll around in on a tarp and then grease up the tarp and roll the tarp with me in it down a hill of flowers, kind of like a greased up boy burrito. And then when I get to the bottom of the hill, I fall into like a little like inflatable pool full of baby oil. And then I just see Coleman Domingo pulling the inflatable pool full of baby oil behind him on a four-wheeler or ATV for those of you who may not be in the South. And he just pulls it into a garage. And in the garage is like a stand-up shower. And he just gets all the ointment and the oil and stuff off of me. And then we watch The Twilight Zone for probably 3 or 4 episodes, and I just fall asleep with my head on his shoulder. And that's it. That's it.
As Mariah Carey would say, that's a sweet, sweet fantasy.
Yeah, it is.
Coleman Domingo has thoughts on that one.
Nothing weird about that.
The fake Coleman is good, but the real Coleman would be better.
It's better. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh. You've got Disney Rocks OMGing over there.
Agreed. OMG indeed.
I don't know where the listeners are in the world, but it was like around 90 here today. It was very summerish.
Yeah, good warm day.
Did
Good
you
day
go
for
out?
some live music and some some fellowship.
Before I go, let me tell you a little story, JP. I think you'll find funny that is completely unrelated to Fear the Walking Dead. I just
All
feel
right.
like you would enjoy this. So I take my buddy Matt hiking with me some, right?
Yeah.
Mainly because he's one of the only friends I have that'll actually go. I think as we get older, hiking gets less and less appealing to friends, you know. But so he goes with me, and where we went, it has a super nice swimming hole. Keep in mind, the water was absolutely freezing, but he just had to swim. So before we leave, he strips down to his undies, and he jumps off the rock, and he gets in the water. And so he gets out, and there's this old lady who was way too old to be on this trail, because you have to cross the river like 3 or 4 times, just like the other trail I told you about. And the rocks are slick, and people were falling, and it just was not somewhere I'd want my grandma trying to cross. And then on top of that, I don't know if he was a grandson or what this guy was to her, but as this elderly lady is trying to cross the river, he's just sitting on a rock watching her. Like already got across. But so she takes her time getting across, and then I guess because she's an old lady and she just crossed a dangerous river, she decides to sit down, where Matt is getting cold and tired of being in his undies. And like I turn around, and he just, no shame, just like he's just naked on the trail. I'm talking completely naked, just been dropped his drawers and putting on his dry shorts. I was like, you know what? For some reason, this reminds me, I can see JP doing this.
I don't know. I would have at least got behind a tree or something, dude. I mean, I'm not opposed to like that sort of scenario, but I would have like hidden myself in some sort of way. I mean,
I wasn't ready for it. Like I turned around to say something, and there's just butt and genitalia everywhere, and I'm like, what the shit?
I'm not quite that. I mean, dude, you've seen me in the locker room and stuff. I've never just, like stripped down naked, like, like it was just a thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was, he was like, look, I gave her plenty of time. She knew what I was about. I was like, you could have told me to like stand in front of you or like hold a towel or do something. He just like, no shame, man. That's like, and I mean, I'm telling you, JP, this was not like this woman's off in the distance and she may have, I'm talking like, but where he was standing naked to where this old lady was sitting couldn't have been more than like 50 yards. I mean, Jesus.
He's a savage.
I mean, he was a savage, man. Just, I was like, you realize that's like that's like one of those like you could get, what is it? That could be a sex crime.
It could be.
Like indecent exposure.
Yeah.
He was like, look, man, it was cold. Because it was. The water was absolutely freezing. But I was, as we were there, I was like, God, I wish that this could have been one of those trips that JP just randomly decided to go with me. Yep. And then, I would have loved to have seen your reaction to it. But
oh my God, yeah, I would have had to have gotten behind a bush or something. I don't know.
What would you have done if you'd have been on this trip though, and you turned around and saw that sky that you barely know?
Would have been. I would have had a good laugh or something. I don't know. When you put a pine cone up his ass, I don't know.
Oh, dear God. Disney Rock says, JP, get your shit together and get caught up on the shows.
No.
Hey, it's not JP's fault. It's technically Xfinity's fault.
Yeah.
And Xfinity really needs to get their shit together because we had no internet all day Friday at work. And like in my job, I can't, I can't get much critical stuff done without the internet.
Yeah, dude. It's really getting to be a hassle. But.
Oh, they just jumped my bill up. I had this long conversation with them because my bill jumped up tremendously. And, they were like, oh, the promotion you were on expired. And I had a long conversation with the woman that claimed to be a manager. But I was like, I used to manage a team on a call center. Like I've done what you do. And I can tell you that I hope your system was like ours. Like our system, you could go back and see who left, who did what calls. You need to find whoever I talked to 2 years ago and reprimand their ass. I said, because this woman straight up told me, I called y'all to leave you and said, I'm going to go with a different provider. I don't know if I was going to try PlayStation TV, something. I was going to try something, and I was going to let Comcast go. And they were like, what can we do to keep you? So then she gave me this deal, and she tells me, oh, this will, and I was like, yeah, but this is one of those things where like in a year it'll triple in price. No, there's no, this isn't going to expire. This is what your bill will be from now until you leave us. Gave me her words. And I said, well, can I get like a manager to verify that? She goes, I am the manager, and I can tell you it's not going to change. So all of a sudden no, she just put me on a promotion to get me to stay. Was super dishonest. And now my bill has like doubled. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for new providers. It was, and they basically told me it's nothing we can do about it. I'm like, you have dishonest employees. And I asked her, like, do you guys get some kind of like a spiff or some kind of, they're bound to get something for keeping accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm sure there's some quota they have to make. Some
kind of initiative, to encourage people to keep accounts. And it's like, man, y'all need to get your shit together.
Yeah, no doubt.
Disney Rock says Xfinity sucks. It does. And sadly, where we live, JP can tell you there's not really many other options out there.
No.
Like, I might keep Xfinity just for the internet, because I'm not going to lie, the internet I have at home is banging. It's super fast. Yeah. It really doesn't give me much trouble. But the internet at work is freaking awful. Their customer service is terrible. Appalachian American, my family and I gave up on cable and went to streaming. My parents pay for a few things. I pay for a few, and we swap logins. Very nice. I just finally downloaded MLB.com, and that shit is not cheap. So there aren't many people I'm going to be giving that login to without them throwing me a little cheddar on the side.
Yeah, for real.
It's like, yeah, you can use my Hulu login. It's like $8-9 a month. I'm cool with that. But I'm paying like almost $30 a month for something. That shit's mine unless you're gonna contribute.
Yeah, for sure.
But nah, I'd let you get it, JP. I know you're a huge baseball fan.
Oh, I am. I live and breathe it.
Oh. But with that said, overall, I think tonight's episode was good. I think that I know I'm very excited to see where it's going to go. Alicia better not get brainwashed, though.
And I'm excited to catch up on it.
You haven't even seen what the guy looks like that we're talking about, have you?
I don't know that I have.
Let me find him for you. So here's what he looks like. This is actually our video. This is like
I remember him in the preview or whatever.
Let's get him uncomfortably close.
Yeah.
Come on, camera focus. There we go.
Yeah, he's a gangly looking dude.
Yeah, he's I'm excited. I'm gonna look him up. I'm sure he's probably been on a lot more than I'm remembering, like being Bane's doctor. I want to look that up real quick, because like he's there in my head.
Yeah.
Bane's doctor. Batman movie.
Yeah, not the best, but he is still.
Did you prefer Tom Hardy's Bane?
I didn't like it. No, honestly, I'd take the one from Batman and Robin. I just hated that movie altogether.
JP, Batman surely Rises. You don't mean the things you're saying.
I can't do it. It was so stupid.
I am a more believable Bane.
It's believable on what planet?
This planet, Earth. I didn't even need Venom to break the bat.
Yeah.
The Venom, the Bane that you prefer had to have steroids and drugs to defeat the Batman. All I needed was my brain and my strength.
It took a 3-hour movie for him to realize, hey, maybe I should punch the thing that he breathes through, like all the time.
Well, that's why I was winning. I was smarter.
Not a smart movie. No good.
Though I probably, in retrospect, should have made my mask a little less accessible for my enemies.
Yeah, just terrible. Just terrible.
You know what movie Tom Hardy was awesome in?
Which one?
I watched it just the other day because I've loved it so much. Lawless.
I've seen a bit of it, but I haven't seen it like either that or I got drunk and fell asleep. But I haven't seen it all the way through. But that's right up the road from us.
Yeah, you need to check it out, man. Franklin County is just down the road. I mean, sadly though, it was filmed in Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they didn't even come to Franklin County, which is still very rural and perfect, I'm sure, for filming. They decided to do it in Georgia for whatever reason. Yeah. I'm sure there is a reason, like maybe they have a contract with Georgia. You know, I don't know. You see that Georgia thing pop up at the end of a lot of shows.
Yeah.
But no, it was not bad. Disney Rocks, what's your rating of the episode, Justin? Then when JP gets caught up, we can compare his rating. I'm going to give this one a 4. I know that is a little high, but I enjoyed tonight's episode. Like I always like to give them good. If I don't feel bored or compelled to look at my phone during the episode, I think it deserves a decent rating.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
3.5 at the lowest, but I'm going to be generous and say 4.
Well, yeah, man. Looking forward to getting caught up.
Yep. Absolutely. And Johnny says, hell yeah, Lawless is a badass movie. It is, man. It's so good. Tom Hardy is the Appalachian British guy in The One. Let's check that out. I know he was in The Revenant. He was like the bad guy after Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's see here. So, what's with The Walking Dead having actors from the Terminator movies joining the show in surprising time? I don't know. So maybe they were having a buy one get one free sale on actors.
Who knows?
Disney Rock says they give it a 4. Hot damn! Yes, I'm not alone on that. I thought it was pretty good, man. I was digging the whole cult thing, and what I was worried about when they came down is like, we've done cults before on The Walking Dead, though. I mean, is this going to be like, and it definitely gave Terminus vibes. But with that said, it was actually still very enjoyable. And I can't leave without my boy Jonas catching a little love, just dropping by to say what's up. Hey, what's up, Jonas?
Jonas.
I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for dropping by, and thank you so much to everybody for listening. JP, I don't want to let you go. I know once I hit this in broadcast button, I'm not going to see you until the next Sunday that you're off.
It's going to be a little while. A couple Sundays at least.
We'll still have the Patreon cast.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay here for a moment, if you don't mind, with silence. I haven't seen Coleman comment in a while. Did he finally leave us?
He's been ousted.
Do you think that since you exposed his lie that he just left you?
Yeah, much like Dale in the Podcasting Dead universe, he exposed himself.
Oh, that was man, that was such that's I'm telling you, that's still probably one of my favorite moments in podcasting history.
Yep.
Misunderstanding someone's question.
That's true.
I was actually just looking over our Patreon. Speaking of which, shameless self-promotion here before we go. If you haven't already, you should seriously consider joining our Patreon. I mean, for as little as $1 a month, you can get some great stuff. And I did put some higher tier stuff on there this week because I feel bad when you've got some people paying, such a large sum of money and not getting anything different. So, but with that said, it's not like we're pulling content from, if you're a $1 patron, you still get all the same content you've got. There's just a little bit of extra stuff that's going to be added for those at higher tiers because I want to say thank you. But yeah, let me see. Also, JP, congratulations on your new kittens.
Yeah, they're.
I guess owning 7 cats wasn't enough for you, so now you get to go beyond that. Are you going to keep all of those cats?
You get a good shot?
Yeah, please tell me you're not going to keep them.
Well, I think that would probably be breaking the law at that point. So.
That's exactly what I was going to say, man.
Yeah.
I don't think you're legally allowed to own more cats than you do now.
But yeah, it was an interesting thing to come home to the other night.
I will say it. Did you know the cat was pregnant?
No, not at all. I thought she was like blown up with worms or something. I don't know.
So did one of your cats do her?
No, she came in that way, and she was so small and young. Was
that the gray? That was the gray one, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say for the record, though, publicly, that even though if JP keeps those kittens, he's probably breaking laws. I will say those cats, even though you do have like 7 or 8 right now, they are very well taken care of.
Yeah, you know.
It's not like they're living in harsh conditions or starving or wallowing around in their shit. I mean, y'all have it on lock. Y'all have got multiple cat litter boxes. You've got plenty of, food for them. They seem like they're living a good life.
Yeah, man.
It's just a lot of them.
Bad. It's all right.
Oh, I've got to throw this in before we go. But yeah, go check out our Patreon. Give it a shot. I think you'll like it. It's pretty raw. It's pretty fun. We've got several different segments and stuff like that, and I think you'll enjoy it. But hey, in the meantime, that's going to be a wrap on this week's podcast. Wait a minute. I gotta see what Jonas says. I have to stop watching Fear on Thursdays on AMC. I keep missing these things, even with the notification bell. I love exploring the Walking Dead universe with y'all. We love exploring with you too, Jonas. So
same.
Hopefully we'll get you either way, though. We're just glad you stopped by to say hi. Do miss your intriguing questions, though. You do. Jonas always asks some really good questions.
For sure.
Good night, everyone. Good, nice hanging out with you guys. Always a pleasure, my man. One day you're gonna have a cookout for me and JP. We're gonna come down there and eat some ribs or something. But in the meantime, let's go wrap on this podcast. I got to get my ass to bed. I'm Justin.
Right up your nose. Right up your nose.
I had to throw that in there as we wrapped it up. Oh boy. Hey, everybody, be good. We'll see you soon.